I think it's one of the most physically demanding sports. It's a different level you got to be at to race. You know, we travel all around the country to race, and we have to train every day to do this. It's just not a show up on the weekend and race. It's a job for us.
Daytona is always a notoriously awkward race for us, and we had 18 bikes going to that start, and I was involved in a pileup that took me out of the race. So right now I'm sitting in dead last in points, and the only direction to go is up from here. Christmas we got a four-wheeler. My mom said we're not allowed to ride it on trails because a lot of accidents happen head-on on trails, so she wanted us on tracks. I believe one of the first tracks we rode was Three Palms, and then another track up here we were riding at after Bryce got one was Whole Shot Valley, which is just up the road here between Weatherford and Springtown. And we were out there and these local people were like, "Oh, you're pretty good at that. You know, they race these."
He rode a quad and I rode a battery quad when I was little, and I face planted actually and went to the hospital, but from there, we just kept getting quads for Christmas, and we went to this local track about 15 minutes from my house, and these people were there and they were like, "You should get into ATV racing," and we were like, "What's that?" Or my parents were like, "What's that?" Race this local series. I think my brother won and I probably got third or fourth because I was 4 years old at the time. Then it all started from there.
He is the number 44 of Bryce Ford.
The second moto we got to take on and change our tires because I was sliding in the 90s.
In the youth years, I was racing with Wesley and Corey Powers. We moved up together through the youth. We started on 90s, is I think the first time I ran into him. Then he went to Super Mini, and I didn't really do too well in Super Mini. I did good on 90s, not in Super Mini. And then 250, it took me 2 years on 250 to get good, and then me and Troy battled for a title. And then amateur, me, Noah, and Logan all really moved up together. We went straight to B, and then we raced each other in A's, and that was pretty good racing. And then in the Pro-Am years, I moved in with, Hogue came into our group from the 300 classes, and he was already in Pro-Am because he skipped the B step and when all of us went to B. And so he got with us and he was pretty fast, and we all went pro together, and there was those 4 pro rookies. We had that really big, strong rookie class that year with 2 rookies getting on the podium, me being the first and Hogue being the second. That's how I got to where I'm at right now in ATV Motocross.
At the start of my youth career, it was a little rough. I was always nervous on the gate. I fell off, and I won my first youth title at 9 years old. I won 50 CBT, and from there on I stepped up and I won a couple here and there. And then to end my youth career, I won 3 250 titles, which was, I think I was one of the first ever to do that because it was the first year the 3 250 classes were a thing. So that was pretty cool. And then I was really nervous making the step into amateurs because I raced Pro-Am and Pro Sport, but it ended up going really well. I got first in Pro Sport and then first in Pro-Am. I had a really good year. I turned pro when I was 18, and my rookie year, it went really well. I started out Daytona, I got a 4th, and then from there on I led a couple races. I led some laps at Sunset Ridge, and then we went to Pleasure Valley, and I had a good start in the second moto. I got to run with Joel and Chad for 2 or 3 laps, but getting that experience under my belt was just something that was great. And then we went to Texas, which is my home race, and that was probably the most fun I had all year. I hole shotted 2 out of 3 because the doubleheader. Led a couple laps there, made a stupid mistake in the pro section, but learned a lot last year and in my rookie year, and I'm just ready to look forward to this year and get faster.
In 2020, I was really doing good. I think anyone who was riding with me would say that. I was pretty competitive with Bryce and Thomas's speed, and then about 3 days before Daytona, I came off the bike at Mesa, track down in Florida, and I crapped my pelvis socket on my left side, and I rolled Daytona and then wasn't able to really come back strong. In the 2021 season, the biggest hurdle was adapting to the bike, and then we went into Daytona, and Daytona is always a notoriously awkward race for us. I mean, we normally race on outdoor tracks. That track is very arena crossy and very hard to pass on, and the start is not as wide as a normal start. And we had 18 bikes going to that start, and I was involved in a pileup that took me out of the race.
Oh, mercy! actually off to the side of the track. I'm not sure who that was.
Right now, I'm sitting in dead last in points, and the only direction to go is up from here.
My biggest hurdles in 2021 was obviously the first race of the year at Daytona. I got a great heat race start. I had a little bike problem about 3 laps into the heat race, and I stalled it in the air. Couldn't get the bike refired, stalled it, and then got it refired, got 7th in the heat, and then on the main had another little bike problem on the gate, ran into the gate. I mentally wasn't in it in the main and made a ton of mistakes, and I'm honestly really disappointed in myself. But going into Texas, we have nothing to lose now, and I feel mentally no stress. I feel great, and I've been training, so just gonna see what happens.
The best thing about heading to Texas is where a lot of my family is from. My father's side is down there, and then my grandmother on my mother's side is down there. And I just can't wait to put on a good show because I've got a lot of things that I'd like to work out that happened at Daytona, because that was not the performance I was looking for. I was looking for a top 5 at Daytona. I did not go in there and get that. And this weekend I'm definitely going to go in there and just leave everything out on the track.
Coming into Three Palms, I'm honestly really excited. It's my home track. I've rode a lot of local races there. They have a cool starting gate. It's a grid, which they do in Supercross. We could see a lot of different results this year. The 3rd place spot, as we all know, is going to be a toss-up. But honestly, my goal this year into Three Palms is to just go and lead some laps and have some fun. But Three Palms is definitely going to be one of the best races of the year for spectators and for everyone, because it's a great track.
Taking these chances, they wouldn't give me the answers, so I gotta go out and get it. I'ma hold them all for ransom.
Early in the race, Bryce turned some faster lap times. Even gave Joel all he could handle. He made a mistake. He would go back to 4th before finishing on the podium.
If you came in here to ruin me, hope you writing out a eulogy. I was tailor-made beautifully. You can never find 2 of me. Look how I'm shining, cold turn into diamonds. I need a moment of silence. This is our moment. Always on the grind till the sun come on us. They can never control us. Running for the prize, raise high for the toast. This is
You're developing that racecraft, and the best way you can do it is what Bryce is doing right now. Getting up there and battling with those guys as long and as hard as you can.
I know he's got that raw speed, but I mean, he's got it in him to really push those guys.
Gladiator in this auto war. What you think that I've been fighting for? Got a cape on like a superhero. They rushing at me like a matador. Nah, I don't need your energy. I don't need the negativity. I'm just trying to bring my people up. Promise y'all I got the remedy. Straight to the roof, tell them we bringing the troops. We got a little surprise, you thinking that we need the truth. We give it 120, we never make an excuse. So go run and tell everybody down that we coming for you.
Bryce grabbed the whole shot, but was quickly overtaken by Joel and Chad. Bryce finished 3rd in the moto as well there. 3rd overall, 3-3 day for him. That's his 3rd Pro Class podium. Congrats to him.
This is our moment. Always on the grind till the sun come on us. They can never control us. Running for the prize, raise high for the toast. This is our moment. 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 This is our moment.
Cody Ford, impressive ride for him, 7th overall. That was his best finish since 2019, so super pumped for him.
This is our moment. 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 Moment.
Pressure on me with these lights and stuff.
Piece of grass stuck in my teeth. You know, I'm part cow.
That flies in the shot, dude. I almost slapped it.
2021. What are the biggest hurdles? Well, Chad caused a big pile up at Daytona, and now me and Joel are both in.
I don't like the but like like what are you doing, Bryce? Let's go.